Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. That's just one of the many quotes I want to share with you today. Quotes that will help you get more done, get more direction in life. Things that have helped me and I hope will help you. Hey, it's Michael, and here are my top 10 quotes that have really helped me throughout life, and I want to share them with you, and hopefully they can help you as well. The first one is from Mark Twain, a man who's probably the most quoted man ever, I would guess. He's one of my favorite authors, lots of really fun quotes, and the quote that I really love from him is, "If you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, nothing worse can happen to you the rest of the day." So if you think about it, the metaphor here is that if you do the really hard thing, if you do something that's disgusting, like that hard, right away in the morning, the rest of the day is easy because you've trained yourself to deal with the most urgent, most horrible thing right away, the most uncomfortable thing. So I love this quote from Mark Twain. If you start doing things, and it doesn't have to be a live frog, mind you, but it has to be something that's like that, metaphorically. So maybe you have a really tough conversation that you need to have with a coworker or an employee or your boss or somebody like that. And instead of putting it off and procrastinating, what you do is you say, look, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I'm going to craft an email to myself and type it out and send it to myself and look at it and go, all right, that's exactly what I want to say in the conversation. And then maybe write down some bullet points of what you want to say in the conversation, and then right away, as soon as possible, call that person or email that person or text that person and get that conversation going. That is your frog that you eat at the beginning of the day. Could be a different type of frog for you depending on what your situation is. That is my number one quote, and here's number two. Okay, quote number two is from Muhammad Ali, and the quote is this: "It's not the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out, it's the pebble in your shoe." It's not the actual long-term project that tires you out, whatever endeavor that you're undertaking, be it running a business, running a family, whatever it is, right? So any kind of long-term project, it's not the actual fatigue of the project, it's the distractions. It's that little pebble in your shoe where you're climbing the metaphorical mountain and there's this annoying thing that you feel that you need to take care of, but you really don't. It's called distraction. Get rid of those distractions in your life, or the things that society tells you that you need to pay attention to, the little details that really don't matter. Don't get distracted by the excuses, right? Think about the long-term goal, which is, say, a healthy, happy marriage, a happy family, a great job where you're continuing to communicate with your employees and coworkers, and not worry about the little details that can distract you, thinking that things aren't perfect. I gotta stop and pick this little pebble out of my shoe, otherwise I can't keep going. That's what it means to me. Get rid of the distractions in your life, ignore the little distractions that really don't matter, and focus on the long-term goal of climbing that mountain. Okay, my third favorite quote is from a therapist in Berkeley, California. His name is Peter Wright. He's a somatic therapist. He's amazing. Check out all of his work. I love this quote from Peter, and it goes like this: "You can't get there from not here." When I heard this for the first time, it was kind of one of these things where your brain gets twisted in a knot, and then when you really think about it, it makes sense. You can't get there from not here. What that means is, if you have a goal or aspiration and you're trying to achieve something, whatever that might be 100% honest with yourself. Look in the mirror at where you are right now. You have to be honest with yourself about where you are at. It doesn't mean that you don't aspire to great things. It just means be really honest with where you are right now. If you're trying to get healthier, really how is your diet? How is your exercise routine? Be honest. What do you really need to do? What is that tough conversation you need to have with your partner? It starts at where it starts. So that's my quote: you can't get there from not here. Okay, my next quote number 4, is from a famous American bicycle racer named Greg LeMond. He was my hero growing up when I was really getting into bike racing. He said this: "It doesn't get any easier, you just get faster." I love this quote because It's one of these things when you start out any endeavor, maybe you go to college, maybe you get a master's degree, maybe you get a PhD, maybe you run a business, maybe you work on your relationship and now it's awesome. There was always this starting point where you thought it was impossible. I can't do this. This is too hard. Am I good enough? Do I really belong here? It's not that it gets easier. Once you arrive at another level and then another level and another level, the whole process isn't easier, you just got better at it. So trust that any important process that you start is going to be hard at each level, but when you get to the next level, you're going to look back and go, oh, I got stronger, I got better because of the process. Okay, quote number 5 in my top 10 list of famous quotes that have helped me is Lance Armstrong. Love him or hate him, I love this quote from Lance Armstrong, and it is, pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever. I love this. It's one of these sort of butt-kicking quotes where if you're feeling like quitting something, something gets hard, something gets difficult, remember that the pain of that process is temporary. It's very temporary. But if you give up on the entire process that you started, that lasts forever. If you quit, if you tap out, that means that lasts forever. Now, you can always restart even after you quit, but if you quit forever, right, that is forever. So think about that quote from Lance Armstrong. Hope that will help you. Okay, quote number 6 is from Tony Robbins. You've probably heard of this guy. He's this tall, energetic dude, full of tons of energy, and he's this motivational guy. I love a lot of his quotes. My favorite is this, which is, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Again, when you're in this process of something that's painful, you can say to yourself, all right, this discipline or this pain really weighs ounces because it's temporary, it's gonna go away. Whereas if I don't do that thing that I really should do, and I never ever do it, and at the end of my life, that's gonna be a regret. So think about that. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. You can use this for important things in your life where you feel that you need to do the hard thing. Do the hard thing that's good for you and good for others, and you won't regret it. Okay, quote number 7 in my top 10 quotes that have helped me and that can help you is by Wayne Gretzky, the famous hockey player, probably one of the best hockey players ever. And his quote is, procrastination is one of the most common and deadliest diseases. And this is really true if you think about it. And by the way, procrastination is super common. All of us humans do it. Why do we do it? It's really simple, actually. It doesn't really even merit a lot of analysis. It's just, you're putting off something that's painful. We're wired for pain and pleasure, and you procrastinate because it's not really fun to do clean the house or start writing a paper or talk to your employee or your boss or your spouse about something difficult. It's not necessarily pleasurable, so you avoid it. That's kind of the way we're wired. So I just want to normalize procrastination first of all, not make you feel bad about procrastination. I do it, everyone does it. The question though is, how long do you procrastinate? Can you get better and better at procrastinating less? Maybe for a little while and then get back into what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, quote number 8 is from a man named Bedros Kuellian. Bedros Kuellian said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So let's think about that. If you really are a thorough person and follow through with, say, your employees or with your boss or in your relationships, and you never leave anything unsaid, if you're really good about that, about just kind of clearing the air, make that consistent across the board. Make it, don't leave things undone in other parts of your life. Like maybe in your finances, you're leaving things undone. You're not really planning for the future. Or maybe in your exercise, you're not being consistent about that. Or maybe your diet is still pretty bad and you're not taking care of that. Bedros said, make everything consistent across the board. Don't be a hypocrite. And I love this. It's like a dose of self-discipline for me. So how you do one thing is how you do everything by Bedros Kuellian. Okay, quote number 9. We're almost to 10. This is maybe my favorite. I'm not sure, but I love this quote by Marianne Williamson, and it goes like this. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're really brainwashed by society to kind of not share our full self for fear of judgment or fear that, hey, if I'm doing too much, if I'm too successful, or if I'm too happy, that maybe other people feel insecure and that's kind of imposing on them. That is so terrible. It's so not true, because if you think about it, you know those people that when you're around them, they have such positive vibes and energy that you can't help feeling happy when you leave, when you leave their presence. They just sort of emit this just wonderful vibes. And those people aren't shrinking. They're not playing small. They're just being themselves, kind of like a bright sun, and you're soaking up the sunshine. You can do the same thing, not to make other people happy, but because you want to be happy. So be more of yourself. Don't shrink. Do those things that you really want to do. Do that hobby, that thing that you really want to do. Talk to that person that you really want to talk to. Get that job that you really want to get. Start that business. Whatever it is, those dreams that kind of light you up inside. Or just say hi to more people, or give more people compliments. Be bigger. Be a bigger person, and you'll have more to share with others. But primarily, it's just going to make you feel good. So that is quote number 9. Might be my favorite, but I think number 10, coming right up, is my absolute favorite. And finally, quote number 10, my top 10 list of quotes that really helped me in life and that will help you, is from Yoda from The Empire Strikes Back. Just side note, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but really only the first 2, the rest kind of But I love Yoda, the character Yoda. And he said, do or do not, there is no try. And if those sci-fi nerds out there get this, maybe that's one of your favorite quotes too, but I think it might be my favorite quote. And I want to unpack it. Even though it's not a very long quote, it could be misinterpreted. So do or do not, there is no try. What that means is that if there's something you want to try to do or want to accomplish, or something that you're aspiring to, let's say that you want to be an actor, something that's really kind of hard to do. If you want to be an actor, that takes a ton of work. You have to meet the right people. It's very, very selective. You don't say to yourself, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go to Hollywood. I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll kind of see what happens. No, you want to say, I'm going all in. I'm gonna make it happen. Do or die, I'm gonna do it. And even if you don't do it and you go in with that attitude of there is no try, there's do or do not, then chances are you're either going to reach your goal or you're going to get really, really close to it and make lots of great connections in the meantime that's going to help a career maybe in the movie industry, maybe not acting. But see what I mean here by this quote? Do or do not. There is no try. You're either going to do it or you're not. But even in doing it and even getting there, you're going to accomplish a lot, and you're going to grow, and you're going to meet people, and it's going to be worth the entire effort. So many people don't start tough endeavors because they fear failure. They go, well, what if I fail? What if you succeed? Did you ever think about that? Right? Now, you don't want to be totally naive and say, well, I'm going to be, president of the United States. But hey, that might be possible too, right? The thing is, all of those endeavors require work, they require commitment, they require a lot of positive thinking. So if there's something great you're aspiring to, don't tell yourself, I'm gonna give it a shot. Really, really go for it. Think about achieving it 100%, and that you're not gonna quit until you achieve what you want to achieve, okay? So Yoda's a smart guy. I think he was 300 years old, or maybe 600. I don't remember. Maybe you Star Wars nerds can correct me on this. Anyway, that's it. That's my top 10 list. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time because I have a list of quotes a mile long from all kinds of people. And I love quotes because they're succinct, and they pack in a lot of information and they're easy to remember. So if you have any quotes you want to share with me or share with the audience, if you're seeing this on YouTube, you can leave a quote in the comments below. Some of your favorite quotes, I read them, I respond to them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's going to help you. Share this video with others. There's a lot of great quotes in here from a lot of great people. And leverage these quotes, use them. Don't just look at them, actually use them. Apply these to your life, and I think it'll make your life better. The quotes have helped me, and I hope that they help you. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and also share with family and friends. Hope you find these mindset tips helpful in your life.